Bueno, ya estamos aquí en un nuevo vídeo. Estamos en este Let's Play de Regreso al Futuro. Y vamos a seguir con este episodio 4 que le habíamos dejado por aquí. Y ahora mismo no me acuerdo qué es lo que teníamos que hacer. Creo que era que el viejo, bueno, el otro Doc del pasado viera la película Frankenstein, creo que era. Pero no sé a dónde ir ahora mismo, ¿eh? Vale, vamos a ir con el otro Doc. A ver qué nos cuenta.
Harry, you do show up at the oddest moments. Where have you been hiding?
¿Qué le digo?
Oh, you know, here and there, you're a little hard to pin down yourself. I went looking for you last night, but...
I believe I was off entertaining a beautiful lady. You know, I never really got a chance to thank you.
Well, I'm sure you would have escaped Kid on your own.
Kid? Oh, sure, I'm grateful for that, but no, I'm talking about Edna. It's funny to think of now, but until that crisis, I actually thought Edna and I disliked one another. Imagine.
Pues... que somos directos. Vamos a ser un poco...
Yeah, well, sometimes first impressions are right. The thing is, you shouldn't let Edna distract you from, you know, the business at hand. Finishing your project for the expo and going to see Frankenstein.
Oh, pshaw. I'm far too busy for movies these days.
But,
And as for my project, it's practically done.
the rocket car?
The rocket car? Boy, are you out of date. I've junked a rocket car.
But,
More trouble than it's worth. I'll never figure out a propulsion system that does what I want it to do. And besides, its social utility is practically non-existent.
Entonces...
social utility? Since when do you care about...
The mental alignment meter is a much more worthy project.
the what?
It was Edna's idea, and she's really been cracking the whip to get me to complete it in time for the expo.
No,
I'm
eso
a
no.
little confused here.
Eso no. Solo pasó un día, joder.
What day is it?
Why, it's opening day. The opening day of the expo. Which reminds me, I'd better skedaddle back to the lab. If Edna catches me dawdling, there'll be heck to pay. Catch you around, Callahan.
October 12th. Doc?
Se hemos equivocado un poco, ¿no? En el tiempo. Un día después hemos venido. Ahora vamos a ir con el otro Doc. A ver si nos dice algo.
Come to think of it, it is a bit brisk for August.
Oh, we're 2 months late. The expo's about to start, and
Hostia, 2
teenage
meses.
you is already in over his head with Edna.
Creía que era un
I
día.
always did have a tendency to plunge into things.
Let's plunge into the DeLorean and get to the right date.
No, it's far too risky. Remember how I was late picking you up in '86?
Yeah?
That should have been a tip-off. Something is horribly wrong with the time circuits, and the problem appears to be getting worse. If we try to jump now, we could find ourselves stranded in the Cenozoic age. Or worse, the Mesozoic.
Then we're stuck?
For the time being, I'll look into the problem and see what I can do. In the meantime, you can go to work on the other problem.
Right. I'll go to the lab and see if I can talk teenage you out of...
Impossible. If young me is already as infatuated as you say, you're not going to be able to talk him out of anything. Believe me, I remember. Better to focus on the more clear-headed half of the couple.
Edna. Where can I find her?
Where do you think? I'll drive. The DeLorean should still function adequately as a means of conveyance in the first 3 dimensions.
Joder, esto siempre se complica, tío. Yo no sé cómo va a acabar el juego, tío. Vamos a ver.
You were right. There she is.
My soon-to-be ex-future wife is nothing if not predictable.
Do I really have to talk to her? I mean, couldn't I just hang out until you fix the time circuits and...
Oh!
I'll talk to her.
Sí, mejor.
You better get the DeLorean out of sight before someone...
Hey, you! Quit blocking the drive! All current and future contestants need to report to the North Tent.
Why not?
Oh, otro lío, ya verás.
Good luck.
Vale. ¿Y qué le decimos a esta chica? Por cierto, está aquí Arthur.
Spell it B-R-O-W-N. It's not exactly an obscure name.
I still don't see it on the list. I'm sorry.
Oh, for the love... Let me try this one more time. This is the Hill Valley Science Expo, right?
First annual.
Indeed. The purpose of our fair is to showcase cutting-edge technology.
That's right. And to burnish Hill Valley's reputation as a forward-thinking community.
And yet, you want to exclude the maker of the most revolutionary breakthrough of all.
It's not that I want to, but... oh, dear.
Mr. Callahan, you do pop up at the oddest times. What are you doing here?
Pues vamos a hacerte cambiar de opinión, pero me parece que va a estar complicado, ¿no? Separarte de Emmett.
I need to...
Whatever it is, I hope you don't have to deal with Mr. Stonewall here. His sole function seems to be preventing people from accomplishing their business. Honestly, with him keeping the books, it's a wonder the Tannen gang got as far as they did. Have you seen Emmett?
No. Le decimos que no.
Oh,
no.
then you've heard all about his big breakthrough, the mental alignment meter. Isn't it exciting? And to think, he didn't even realize the import of his discovery until I pointed it out to him. I've never known anyone like him, so oblivious to his own potential.
I kind of wanted to talk to you about Emmett and his potential.
Funny, I didn't spot it myself at first. In fact, for the longest time, I thought I didn't even like him.
Yeah.
Esto está muy difícil. No creo que... A esta la vamos a cambiar de... No creo que la hagamos cambiar de opinión. ¿Qué te atrae de él? Es verdad. Si descubrimos el qué y luego ya lo cambiamos.
I don't get it. I mean, Emmett's nice and all, but he's not exactly the kind of guy that has girls swarming all over him.
Well, I'm not your average girl.
Yeah, but...
I appreciate your concerns, Mr. Callahan, but I can take care of myself. I know what I'm looking for in a man, and it so happens Emmett fits the bill to a T. That's Emmett Brown. Rhymes with clown, which I'm beginning to think you are.
Just a simple mix-up, I'm sure.
I've no doubt of that.
¿Pero qué coño hago yo ahora? A ver, vamos a hablar con Arthur.
Hey, Artie.
Officer!
Officer,
Right. Don't blow your cover.
will you please keep your mind on the task at hand?
Can't talk right now.
Me cago en... Vale, voy a hablar con Doc. A ver si se le ocurre algo.
Well,
I talked to her.
and?
Nada.
She says she knows what she's looking for, and it's you.
But it can't be me. Wasn't me. Marty, we don't belong together.
You don't have to tell me that.
Find out exactly what her requirements are. I can almost guarantee you that I don't fit them.
Ya, pero... Vamos a hablar con este, a ver.
Hey, excuse me.
Yeah?
When does the expo
Not till
open?
tonight. Anybody without official business here, please get off the grounds! You
Tranquilo,
got official
macho.
business here?
Yeah.
Well, stay out of the way of the workers. You look familiar. Do I know you?
Nope.
Vale, o sea que no puedo entrar tampoco, ¿no?
Yeah?
When does the expo
Not till
open?
tonight.
Nada. ¿Qué hago, tío? A ver. Cuaderno de Doc, a lo mejor.
That notebook belongs to Doc. The real Doc.
Ya, pero yo qué sé.
You said that Emmett fits your bill of requirements for a man.
Yes?
What would that list be exactly?
You'd make a good reporter, Mr. Callahan. You know that? Well, his physical appearance, for one thing. Emmett may not be Clark Gable, but he cleans up surprisingly well. I gave him my grandfather's white suit to wear at the expo. Oh, you should see him in it. He looks positively radiant.
Looks good in a suit. Got it.
And he's completely devoted to me. That's important. I've got no time or tolerance for playboys.
Faithful as a Labrador. Check.
Thirdly, and most important,
Yes?
well, his mind, of course. It's brilliant, and it's virtuous through and through. His own mind map shows him to be a model citizen.
Good brain. I see. And if it turned out that you were mistaken about any of these qualities,
Say, what's your game?
just curious, just trying to understand the female mind.
Well, understand this. I'm not some faint-hearted girl who'd run away at the first hint of trouble. I've made a big investment in Emmett. Not money, but I've sunk all my ambitions into him. I'd have to be thoroughly disillusioned before I'd call it quits with Emmett. Got it?
Uh-huh.
Now, Mr. Cub Reporter, is there anything else?
Pua. Esto del medidor de alineación mental supongo que será lo que vimos en el anterior
What the
capítulo.
heck is this mental alignment meter of Emmett's?
Oh, it's an absolutely revolutionary invention! Measures a person's affinities, what he's attracted to, what he's repulsed by, that sort of thing.
Interesting. And it really works?
Well, of course! What's the point of inventing something that doesn't work? Or, anyway, it works well enough for my purposes.
Vale, no, parece ser que era algo distinto, ¿no? No sé qué decirle ya.
You say you know Emmett is a model citizen, but you don't know him as well as I do. Did you know he once cheated some Libyans out of plutonium?
Plutonium? What would Libyans want with plutonium? I'm sure he had a very good reason. Emmett's mind map demonstrates conclusively his brain is oriented toward virtue.
Robó un tren. Esto se lo decimos también.
This one time, to power one of his science experiments, Emmett hijacked a train.
Please, there hasn't been a train hijacking in Hill Valley since the days of Mad Dog Tannen.
Emmett's done a lot of shady things in his time. My vice principal warned me to stay away from him.
Your vice principal sounds like a dolt.
Vale, se nos han acabado ya las cosas.
Rather hard for me to picture Emmett as a chick magnet.
Chick magnet?
A guy who gets the girls, motors running.
Motors?
Who makes them, you know.
You mean a chic?
Yeah.
Well, it's a matter of taste, I suppose, but when he's properly pomaded and decked out in my grandfather's white suit, Emmett just glows. Makes my heart flutter a bit just to picture him.
Vale, vamos a elegir esto y supongo que ya.
So you say Emmett only has eyes for you?
Absolutely. It's almost embarrassing how devoted he is to me.
Well, it's good to hear he's finally settling down.
Yes. Settling down?
You know, ready to stop playing the field, as it were.
Playing the... Oh, you're joking.
Vale, pues ya está.
That's all the questions I got.
Very well, then.
Hostia. Está
Hey,
Strixie, ¿no?
Audie, you see my Oriole?
You mean this?
Yeah, thanks.
She gets to come and go freely, and I'm forced to wait. I love it.
Vale. Convence a Edna de que Emmett la engaña. Vamos a hablar con Doc otra vez.
Ah, good. You're back. Give me the full report.
She says she likes you because you've got a virtuous mind, you look good in a suit, and you're completely faithful to her.
Damn, she's got me dead to rights. Well, you'll just have to find a way to change her mind. I'll be here if you need any help. Do you need any help?
Pues sí.
Edna doesn't seem to care much for Trixie Trotter.
She never could get past the fact that Trixie had been Kid Tannen's ma.
Tengo un plan.
I think I'm starting to get a plan.
Good. Tell me. No, no. After all, it's my history we're talking about. If I learn how you're planning on altering it, my resolve may weaken.
Vale.
Dad never told me about a Hill Valley Expo.
It was Mayor Thomas's idea. He had visions of Hill Valley becoming a magnet for big investors in the technology sector. But the venture folded after the third year when the influenza exhibit leaked into the concession stand.
Oh.
Vale, el DeLorean está caput, ¿no? Así que... me tendré que ir de aquí, creo. A ver si puedo... Mira, vamos a hablar con Trixie. Casi hacemos que se fije a lo mejor el otro dock en Trixie o algo. No
To
sé.
all who approach these hallowed halls, I bid thee welcome. To all who approach these hallowed halls, I bid thee welcome. To all who... Oh,
qué
hiya,
dices?
kid. Say, aren't you the fellow who...
Got you to turn on Kid Tannen? You bet.
You look younger without your mustache. That was a dirty trick, you know, making me think Kid had gone and iced Artie.
I'm sorry, but it was the only way I could...
Forget about it. I'm trying to. Yesterday's in the past. That's my motto. You gotta live for today.
Right.
So what are you doing down here anyway? Do you wish to pull the levers that control the future?
Ah,
Pues
At
sí.
the expo, silly. Technology for a better tomorrow and all that.
oh, yeah, that's actually why I'm here.
¿Cómo está aquí? ¿Qué hay sobre...? Vamos a ir directos, ¿no? Ayuda por celosa a Edna.
Listen, I've got a proposal for you. I have this friend, right?
No dice. I'm only seeing Artie now.
It's not like that. See, my friend's in a relationship with Edna Strickland.
Oh, poor schmuck. I
Pobre
wouldn't
dice.
wish her on anyone.
Then you see where I'm coming from. He won't listen to reason, but I thought she might call it off if she thought he and you were, you know.
Ah, you are an evil imp, ain't ya?
Sometimes a guy's got to resort to underhanded tricks. What do you say?
Sorry.
Ah,
Edna might be a pill, but if I play dirty tricks on every dame who disapproves of me, well, I'd play a lot of dirty tricks. Besides, such stunts are beneath the dignity of Techne, Muse of Progress.
Joder, pues ya sí que se me acaban los planes, ¿eh? ¿Cómo está Kid?
how's Kid's trial going?
Slowly. You know what they say. The wheels of justice grind slowly, but infinitely fine.
Except in Hill Valley, where they don't move at all.
What?
Nothing, it's just, you know, something I heard once. So no regrets about turning him in?
None at all. I should have known better than to take up with him in the first place. But what can I say? I was dumb. I let myself get taken in by his charm.
Charm.
Vale.
So Artie's working for the expo too, huh?
Oh, Artie's doing swell. The papers made a big deal of him testifying against Kid. People have been beating down his door ever since the trial. The expo's darn lucky they could get him.
Vale, es que no nos hace... No sé qué hacer ya.
So who are you supposed to be?
Don't you know your Homer? I am Techne Muse of Progress. You can tell by the lightning bolts.
Must have slept through that class.
I'm supposed to be a goddess-like. I'm the one who inspires all the great men who make the discoveries. And women, too. Leave us not forget Madame Curie.
I never would. So you work for the expo?
Yeah, ain't it a kick? I greet all the important guests. And on the final day, I get to bestow the golden sundial on the winning contestant.
Vale.
Techne, Muse of Progress. Not a bad gig.
Artie got it for me. It's my entree into respectability.
No, por aquí no. Vamos a insistir, a ver.
Look, my friend Emmett really needs help.
The one who's going out with Edna Strickland? You're darn right he needs help.
I'm not asking you to actually seduce him. Just make her think that you two have a thing going. It'll drive her crazy.
I guess it would.
So,
I wouldn't do that to another girl unless I was good and mad at her. And besides, it might tarnish my image as a muse.
Vale, o sea, que tenemos que hacer que se enfade con Edna, ¿no?
see you, Trixie.
From this chamber of wonders, we bid you a fond adieu.
¿Cómo hacemos que se enfade? No tengo nada en el inventario, ¿no? No. ¿Cómo hacemos que se enfade esta chica con Edna? ¿Camión? ¿Esto?
It's not as nice as my truck back in '86. Jeez, I hope I still have a truck back in '86.
Vale, a ver. A ver, Doc, échame una mano.
I suggested a little scheme to Trixie, but I don't know if she's gonna go along with it.
Pursue whatever strategies you like, but please don't tell me the details.
Claro, que si no le podemos decir nada a este tío, macho, poco nos va a ayudar. A ver, vamos a hablar con Edna otra vez. Si le podemos decir algo, yo que sé, para que vaya detrás de la otra o algo.
Back again, Mr. Callahan? What can I help you with?
I was thinking,
Vale.
I found out about Trixie Trotter.
Yes?
Apparently they made her some sort of queen of the festival. Techne, the muse of progress.
They didn't. Well, they said this expo would give Hill Valley a reputation. I didn't realize this is what they meant.
What have you got against Trixie?
It's the idea of it, allowing our city to be represented by a woman like that. I won't stand for it. As a socially conscious citizen, I demand you discharge that muse.
Trixie? What's wrong with her?
Oh, she's hardly qualified for an honorific post at a public event.
Look, lady, she fits the costume. She's an American citizen, and she managed to memorize all her lines. What more qualifications do you want?
Oh, these people are impossible.
Bueno, por lo menos se ha enfadado un poco. Ah, hacemos que despidan a Trixie. Luego se enfada la otra y así, bueno, vamos a...
Why do you want to get Trixie fired?
One simply can't allow women like that to attain positions of respect in society. It creates a very bad precedent for the future.
Does it?
But try telling it to this poor sap. She's got him completely steamrolled. That's how they operate.
Is it?
Still, I could get her discharged if I had the goods on her. No doubt a woman like that has left a trail of scandal, and I'd find it if I were still a reporter. But I haven't got time to do the legwork now. I'm too busy with Emmett and his invention.
Ay.
So you wouldn't hesitate to get Trixie fired from her job?
If I had the goods on her. She's obviously got her employer completely bamboozled. The only way to snap him out of his spell would be to show him something really shocking.
¿Cómo qué?
That's all the questions I got.
A ver,
Very
he
well,
visto un tío en
How
el
about
camión.
you? Have you got any questions for me?
No.
Then kindly let me pass.
I'm afraid I can't until I've located your registration form.
Oh, this is absurd!
Vale, estos siguen aquí, vamos a ver. El tío del camión sí nos puede decir algo.
It's not as nice as...
El camión no. Este.
Hey, pal.
Oh, geez, this guy again.
Funny, I was gonna say the same thing.
A ver, vamos a ir al... vamos a ver qué hace aquí
What
primero.
kind of stuff have they got you hauling here?
How the heck would I know? Electro this, robo that, dynamo the other. It's all Greek to me.
Coño, tiene los dientes, tío, este tío. Tiene como un aparato. ¿Tocarás para Trixie?
You be playing piano for Trixie later?
Nah.
Why not?
'Cause little Miss Goody Two-Shoes thinks she's too respectable for cue ball these days.
You seem kind of angry about Trixie.
Angry? Listen, kid, me and Trixie go way back. I know stuff about her that even kid doesn't know. Stuff
Hostia,
that
pues
totally
dímelas.
just sucks.
Really?
Dímelas,
yeah.
dímelas.
And now to see her flouncing around the place, making like her stink don't smell, it just cheeses me off, you know?
Ah, no, que tiene los dientes verdes, no es un aparato. A ver, dime.
So what's so, toe curling about Trixie's past?
Yeah, like I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, come on.
No.
Tell you what, I'll tell you something embarrassing about me first.
Like what?
Hostia, es verdad. Su madre, tío. Vamos a decir esto que yo creo que es la más... que en la peli, tío. Sí, verdad.
Well, under the influence of alcohol, my mom made a pass at me.
Ooh. All right, Junior, you win. That was pretty embarrassing.
Man.
Almost as embarrassing as this.
¿Qué es eso?
Is that Trixie?
Yep.
She's not wearing much.
No kidding. She did a lot of these artistic postcards a few years ago. I got a whole set of them.
Can I, have one?
I don't know. You ain't gonna do nothing bad with it, are you?
Hey, I promise. I'll only use it for the greater good.
Eso es.
Wow. Okay.
Bueno, a ver, tampoco estas postales no enseñan a la chica, pero bueno. La verdad, ¿qué pasa con tus dientes, tío?
Hey, what's with your teeth?
My teeth?
Yeah, they're green.
I don't know what you're talking about.
De verdad, tu diente.
Seriously, man, what's going on with your teeth?
It's nothing. Nothing. Oh, crap.
What's wrong?
It's these.
Dr. Frinkle's algae cakes?
A crate of them fell off the truck while I was unloading it, and I just can't stop eating them. How was I to know they'd turn my teeth green?
Well, the algae part might have been a clue.
Please don't rat me out to Artie, okay? I really need this job.
No problem, but you better let me keep the cakes.
Sure thing, pal.
Hostia, vale, ahora tenemos esto, ¿vale? Pues yo creo que ya, ¿no? Vamos a hacer todas las preguntas por si acaso.
Shouldn't you be in jail with the rest of kids' gang?
I was, but then an opportunity availed itself, and I
Sang like a canary.
I prefer to think of it as exhibiting an admirable sense of self-preservation.
Have you heard from Kid lately?
We're not exactly on speaking terms these days, on account of our varying degrees of incarceration.
Vale, vamos a terminar todas las preguntas porque a lo mejor nos da algo, yo qué sé.
What kind of stuff have they got you hauling here?
How the heck would I know? Electro this, robo that, dynamo the other.
Vale, esto ya me lo has dicho.
Hang loose, pal.
You talk funny, mister.
Vale, pues ya tenemos cositas. Hablamos con Edna primero.
Ahem.
Back again, Mr. Callahan? What can I help you with?
I was thinking. That's all the questions I got.
Vale,
Very well,
no,
then.
no.
And I
Still look.
A ver, no me da ninguna opción. ¿Qué pasa si enseño esto?
You might want to take a look at this.
Why in the world would I be interested in... Oh, what have we here?
Uy, se le pone cara de mal y todo.
Mr. McFly! It appears your muse has been inspiring more than progress.
Trixie? Oh, no, no, no. What are you doing with a dirty postcard?
What is she doing in a dirty postcard? I swear, Mr. McFly, if that doesn't convince you that Trixie Trotter is unfit to represent Hill
I
Valley...
don't need you to lecture me about who I can or can't hire, Miss Strickland. Trixie's darn good at what she does. I don't care if she was once the winsome wench of Winnipeg. Her past doesn't matter to... Trixie?
What is it, Artie?
You know I don't like to pry, but what state did you grow up in?
Province, Manitoba. Why?
Not even an American.
See, darling, the charter specifically states that the Expo's hostess must be a U.S. citizen, so if you're really a Canadian...
I'm being fired? You are firing me?
I don't want to.
Here,
Venga, ya está,
take
ya
it
está.
back.
Well, I'm glad
Ahora se enfadan
somebody's
estas.
listening to reason.
¿Y se va y ya está? No, ahora está enfadado.
Let's talk.
Ahí estamos, ahí estamos. Venga. Dale a Trixie todo lo que necesita para poner celosa a Edna. Venga, vamos.
Trixie?
I'll do it. I'll make that blue-nosed Betty eat her heart out.
That's great. I got it all planned out. When Emmett shows
But we
up...
gotta do it my way.
Huh?
I'm no good with improvising, and I ain't gonna memorize no lines. But I was in this play once. The Parlor Maid's Predicament. I figure I could lift a scene from that.
Okay.
Only, I need a few props.
Why am I not surprised?
Some furs, a big diamond. It doesn't have to be
Hold
real,
it.
understand?
That makes it easier.
And something from this friend of yours, Emmett. Has he got a photo album?
I don't know. Probably.
Better bring it to me.
Furs, a diamond, and Emmett's photo album. And then?
Sit back and watch the fur fly.
Diamante, tío. Ve al laboratorio de Emmett. Diamante y pieles. ¿Dónde consigo yo eso? A ver, Doc.
Good news. I think Trixie's gonna go along with my scheme.
Pursue whatever strategies you like, but please don't tell me the details.
Joder, pues estamos solos en esto. ¿Cómo coño voy al laboratorio de Emmett, tío? ¿Me voy por aquí? Sí, a la
The
calle,
Brown
¿no?
place is on Riverside Drive. Way too far to go on foot. I wonder how Doc's coming with the DeLorean.
Ah, vale, vamos. Tenemos que ir en el DeLorean.
Have you figured out what's wrong with the time circuits?
Not sure. Possibly. It seems to me to be a simple wiring issue, but I'm double-checking to make sure. All the basic equipment appears to be functional.
Any chance I could borrow the DeLorean? I want to drop in on young you at the lab.
Well, I don't know. The time circuits...
Listen, I promise I won't take it to 88.
Even so, I'm worried about letting it out of my sight while it's still behaving unpredictably. Tell you what, I'll take it on a test drive 1 minute into the past. If it passes the test, I'll let you borrow it.
Pero es buena idea esto. No sé yo, ¿eh?
It worked. Didn't it?
I'm afraid not. In fact, the discrepancy appears to be getting worse. I arrived 6 hours ago.
Oh, too bad.
I didn't want to risk undoing any of the work you've done thus far, so I kept out of sight. But the time lag wasn't entirely a waste. I stopped by the hardware store and bought the parts for a chronometric analyzer.
A what?
A diagnostic device. See, I plug it into the time circuits and set them to cycle. When the green light goes off, I should have the data I'll need to understand the scope of the problem.
Hey, no driving the exhibits off the lot!
Looks like you'll have to find another set of wheels if you want to get to the lab.
Vale, pues el camión. El tío del camión. Nos tiene que prestar su camión o algo. ¿Y esto?
I wish the courthouse did look like that in 1981.
My future wouldn't be built so shoddily.
Hi, Miss Strickland. I was just...
Break what you like, Mr. Callahan. It's no skin off my nose. Just keep away from Emmett's booth. Speaking of whom, I better go see what's keeping him.
Sí. Iré cuando esté preparado, ¿no?
I'll go check on him for you. I was just heading there anyway.
No, you weren't. The last thing he needs is another distraction at the 11th hour.
But...
Tut, tut. Not another word. I've got the rest of the day all mapped out.
Miss Strickland!
Bueno.
I'm sorry, I don't recognize you. Heavens, you shaved off your hair, but... Carl Sagan?
I'd like a word with you, if I may.
I'm not sure it would be seemly for me to be seen in the company of an alleged arsonist.
I think it may be in your best interest. You see, I know what you're up to.
Let's go somewhere where we can talk privately.
Vale, ahora tenemos tiempo para ver de todo aquí.
Keep her occupied till you get back.
Venga, vamos. Creo que tenemos un monopatín ya, ¿no? Aquí... No. Un botón.
Agricultural advances will make it a breeze to feed our burgeoning population. Tired of waiting for Mother Nature to do her job? Just press a button. Presto!
El diamante.
An artificial
Vale.
rainstorm drenches the valley's thirsty crops.
Press button to experience Future Hill Valley, circa 1981.
Que sí, coño, pero coge el diamante, que ya lo tenemos ahí.
I don't think I've visited that timeline yet.
Coge el diamante.
Just borrowing it.
Ahí está. Ahora que nos faltaba pieles, pero esto no creo que nos dé pieles, ¿no?
Pleasant dreams, Hill Valley. And the Expo would like to remind you that you can find everything you need to transform your dreams into reality and the fresh air, occasionally our much better serving our beneficial ride in the future for a peek at Hill Valley circa 1981.
Se ha vuelto loco,
Courtesy of
macho.
Hal's Hardware and the collective imagination of mankind. Could this be our venerable town square?
A ver si se
Yes,
calla ya.
indeed. Though the form looks strange
Hey,
and
buddy.
new, the function
good.
remains
He's
the
back.
same as ever. But
Sigue
where
hablando,
are all
tío.
the people? Why, they're underground. A network of burrows extends a mile into the earth, giving future Hill Valley's 10 million citizens plenty of space to work, play, and raise their families.
A ver, cállate ya, hombre.
You still cheesed off at Trixie?
Yeah, but I'm more cheesed off at whoever got her fired.
Oh,
Vale. Me tienes que
what
dejar el
kind of
camión,
stuff
tío.
have they got you hauling here?
How the heck would I know? Electro did me.
No, esto no.
Stay out of trouble, cue ball.
That's what I'm trying to do.
No puedo coger el camión directamente.
It's not as nice as my truck back in 86. Jeez, I hope I still have a truck back in 86.
Vale, a ver qué tengo en el inventario. Tenemos el diamante. Sí, tenemos un monopatín. Tartas de alga. Esto supongo que será lo del cuaderno de Doc. Aquí no sé si hay fotos de Doc. Vale, vamos a ir a la calle.
Hang on, Emmett. Hope you're ready for a big breakup.
Sí, nos vamos con el monopatín.